Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little battle of two foundations, and I think these are quite similar, but the price point it's definitely not. We have a drugstore price Physician Formula Organic Wear Cell Foundation Elixir with jojoba oil, and this retails for $16 versus 100% pure Second Skin Foundation olive squalane and fruit pigments, and retails for a whopping $47. So we're gonna have a little battle of these two foundations, and I've got these two foundations here, and when I went and bought this Physician Formula Organic Wear Foundation, I initially thought about this foundation because I already have this. I've been using this year. It has been one of my favorites, and I was always thinking about the other one. So we're gonna compare the two and see how they perform, and have a little battle here and see who wins. So 16 versus $47. We're gonna start with the containers. They are pretty similar because they are both glass, and they both have a dropper. So you can see this one, it looks a little bit more basic, I would say, with the little squeezy dropper, and then the 100% pure dropper. It has this pump, so you kind of have to do this, and basically it's about the same thing. It just looks more luxurious, I would say, but basically they work the same. And yeah, now let's see, the Physician Formula, it's 1 ounce, and the 100% pure, it's 1.18 ounce. It's not a huge difference, 30 milliliters versus 35, so about the same size. The 100% pure slightly bigger, even though the bottles, one is taller and skinnier and the other one is smaller and fat. I guess it's the same thing. Frosted glass for both of them, but the ingredients are slightly different. Now, even though this one, it says is with jojoba oil, I was quite looking at the ingredients, and first ingredient, it's an orange water or something like that. So basically it's water based, I would say, with an addition of oils in it. So don't think that it's very oily and greasy and heavy. It's not very heavy. They are both very liquid and thin, and these are both fluids. It doesn't say it's a fluid, but they are both fluids, and this one is called Elixir, and yeah, that's probably the name. It's quite matching that. This one is called Second Skin Foundation. It doesn't say, that it's an elixir, but it's very, very liquidy too, so they kind of look the same in that area. But like I said, this one, it has water. First ingredient is orange water, and then it has olive oil, and it has some tapioca starch, sunflower oil, coconut oil, jojoba seed oil, more water. It has squalane. So actually the first ingredient in the 100% pure Second Skin, it's squalane. So somewhere there in the ingredients it has squalane. It has vegetable collagen, aloe vera, vitamin E, cactus flower extract, glycerin. So it has a lot of good ingredients in that list. And then we have the 100% pure. First ingredient, it is squalane, so that's the base of the foundation, is now water. So squalane, it's an extract from olive, and they are acting like your own skin, fat in the skin. So you are born actually with squalane in your skin, but the older you get, it's kind of when you're aging, it's kind of getting less and less produced by your skin. So this is mimicking that, giving the skin a lot of antioxidants, and it has anti-inflammatory properties, so great for acne and eczema. And then it has a lot of extracts. It has turmeric extract, bamboo silica, vitamin E, calendula, which is very healing. It has apricot, cacao, pomegranate, wild cherry, coffee, black tea. So all these plants actually, so definitely the ingredients are far more superior in the 100% pure versus the physician formula. Now the shades that I have here, I think this is in light. This is number 3. And I'm gonna show you the 100% pure next to it. This is in the shade 1. So shade 1, it's just shade 1, it doesn't have a name. 100% pure has 7 shades, and I believe the organic formula, the physician formula, it has 12 shades to choose from. And I have here shade number 3 from physician formula versus shade number 1 from 100% pure. Look like this. And the physician formula is slightly more peachy, and the 100% pure formula, it's a little bit more light and a little bit more yellowish, but it's not really true yellowish, but it's warmer. And the other one is a little bit more peachy. And definitely the 100% pure formula, I can tell it feels a little bit more greasy and applied. But let's test that out on my face now. They're pretty similar in the shade, and I picked these 2 shades light because my skin is gonna get lighter and lighter now during the winter time. It gets like pale, really pale, so I am a true light. In the summertime I tan and I get more close to medium. My skin, it's I have normal to dry skin in winter, so now it's pretty on the normal side, I would say. I don't really have dry, a little bit maybe dry on my chin, but we'll see how it's gonna act out. Today I used the scrub in the morning, so I hope I'm not gonna have any dryness around this area, but let's check that out. I am gonna use one primer all over my face, and this is the 100% pure mattifying primer. And I really like this primer, especially when it's sunny outside and it gets more hot and I get a little bit of sweat going on sometimes, so that's what I like to use. And this is filling my pores really nice and feels like a real primer, if I should say that. It's quite pricey actually, but it feels like those silicone primers, but without the silicones. Actually, it's all natural and it feels so good. So I'm gonna give it a minute to be absorbed into the skin, and then we're gonna apply the foundations. We're gonna apply the physician formula first on one half of my face, and actually I realized that I can apply this with a brush, and I'm gonna use my fingers to put it on, and then I'm gonna go all over both of my face with a sponge. And this is the 100% pure sponge. It's really big and fluffy. Just got this. And if you see my first impressions, I tried to apply this with my brush and it didn't work, and then I tried with my fingers and it didn't really work either, and the sponge, it was eating too much product. And I'm just gonna do this actually. I feel like I put a lot of foundation this time. And now on the other side I'm gonna put the 100% pure. And actually this I've been loving to apply with my fingers. I feel it's giving me such a good coverage, and I can build it up actually. I feel like I can go on top of it if it didn't apply well. I can go on and add more and build it up. Now this one is a little bit more yellowish. I hope I'm not gonna look like an Oompa Loompa today because I have to run some errands. Now, right off the bat, they are both very lightweight, these foundations. They don't feel like much. I definitely see I have some dry, like I said, my chin is really dry and I feel that. And on the 100% pure it's more visible than on the Physician Formula, actually, right off the bat. The pores are definitely a little bit bigger on my Physician Formula side, I can tell right now. But let's go in with the sponge and apply maybe one more layer and see if we can build it up. So I'm gonna go first with my Physician Formula and I'm gonna apply it on my skin because I noticed that if you put it on a sponge, it's taking up so much product, way too much product. And I'm gonna use one side of the sponge on this side, and then I'm gonna flip the sponge. Yeah, like I said, the sponge is sucking up all the product. It drives me nuts. It doesn't look like you apply more, even if you apply more. So let me do this. Let me apply more with my hands again. Because the sponge is eating all of the product. And then go with the sponge over it. Yeah, it doesn't look like you apply more. Like I said, this definitely is not buildable. Now I already look dewy on this side. I look very dewy, like I mentioned. The dewiness, it's already out there. This is matte. It's very, very matte comparing to this side, which is really dewy and glowy already. And I didn't even apply it on yet and wear it and go outside, I guess, a little bit. So it's already very dewy. Now let's try the other side with the sponge now to see if we get the same dewiness going on. I'm gonna put one more drop on this side. Blend it in with my fingers a little bit. I'm just gonna add it on. And now I'm gonna use the sponge and I'm gonna use the other side that I didn't use on this side. Usually I don't use a sponge. When I apply this foundation, I just put it on and I'm good to go, actually, with my fingers. So that's what I really like about it, because it's so quick and it's not, how should I say this, I don't have to, you know, make it work. It works for me. It leaves a really, really beautiful skin. It's very lightweight, the same like the other one, but the way it performs is just very beautiful for me. Okay, so right off the bat I noticed this. The Physician Formula, it's very dewy and glowy. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it's very, very dewy. The 100% pure side, it's matte, like completely matte right now when I applied it. And considering that this has more water and this is just an oil, the squalane based. It's quite weird, right? So this is what's going on right now. As coverage, they kind of look the same. They're more on the light. I wouldn't say higher than medium, but they're not buildable. The more that you apply, it doesn't do more, it doesn't cover more. So I think one layer is enough with this foundation because it's so lightweight, it's not building up. But yeah, I see the dewiness going on. The Physician Formula, it's already sank into my laugh line. That was very quick. Let's see if we can erase that. And I'm gonna set up with a powder. Actually, I'm gonna apply a concealer and I'm gonna set up with a powder only my concealer and my laugh line to see if it's gonna be a little bit long lasting. But the 100% pure is sinking more into my dryness. I can see my dryness right here on my chin rather than the Physician Formula. But yeah, I am gonna go finish my makeup and I'll be right back. So I went ahead and I applied a little bit of bronzer and blush to my face, and actually the 100% pure foundation didn't move at all. I don't see any movement, but the Physician Formula is still dewy. I see the dewiness going on even after I applied the powders on my face from the blush, and it's quite interesting because I see this dewiness going on this side of the face, and the 100% side is not dewy at all. So that's quite interesting actually to see this. But yeah, we're gonna let it set and I'll be back in maybe an hour or so, and I'm gonna check in to see how this look like. But yeah, that's already a huge difference in dewiness. So it's been around 3 hours now, I think, since I applied my foundation, and I wanted to do a check-in and see how it's going. And actually the foundation looks pretty great on both sides. I must say the coverage is still there, it didn't move, but like I mentioned, since the application, the Physician Formula Organic Wear foundation that I have on this side, it's very dewy, and it was dewy since I applied it. It got even more dewy now after 3 hours. And yeah, the more you wear this foundation, the more dewy you get. The oils are peeking through and they sit on the face, and it gives a beautiful glow to the skin. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with that, but it definitely sinks into my fine lines, and the pores are showing a lot, like really a lot. Now I have the other foundation on the other side, the 100% pure second skin, and it's very matte. Especially when I look to both sides, I can tell like this side it's so matte comparing to the other side. I definitely don't get the dewiness, especially around here. There I see like a lot of glow on this side, and the pores are definitely more visible on this side than on the other side. But yeah, the only problem probably that I have some dryness right here on my chin, and on both sides it looks the same kinda. It kinda sticks to that dry portion of the skin. Now I think the foundation kind of rubbed off here on my chin because I probably touched my face, so it kind of went away. So this is for both sides. It's really bad, I guess. So it's kind of where it's dry, where my skin is really dry, the foundation kind of breaks apart in time, so the skin starts to peek through. I'm not sure if I touched my face a lot and if I rubbed it off, but yeah, that's the only thing that I see going on. But otherwise, yeah, the glow, it's on this side, and here just a tiny little bit, but otherwise it looks quite matte, which is quite interesting. And I noticed that on the Physician Formula, actually, it rubs off easily if you touch your face a lot. Let's say you blow your nose, it's gonna go away. But yeah, stuff like that. My nose got really greasy. And it's funny because I apply powder on it. But yeah, they are both very lightweight, and you can't really say that one it has a better coverage than the other one, because they both have the same. They are very lightweight and they are a fluid, and they apply almost the same, like they feel very light on the skin and it's easy to wear them. But this greasy side drives me nuts, and I tell you why. We are in autumn right now. It's around the 70s outside. It's not even hot, and you get this dewiness. So imagining the heat, what's gonna happen to this side. So that's why I think this foundation, I can only wear it in the winter time when it's gonna be like really, really cold outside. So this is gonna stay not just dewy, but well moisturized, I guess, in time. But it gets like really, really, really dewy. So I'm gonna leave it a little bit more time on, and then I'm gonna do my final check-in. So stay tuned for that. Now I just got back home and I'm gonna do my final review. And actually, this Physician Formula Organic Wear, it's dewy like hell. It's not just dewy, it's making you look wet, greasy. I don't know how to explain this. It's just it's not something that I want from a foundation, actually, because it's showing all imperfection when it does that. So whenever it gets like that, when that greasiness starts to show, it's picking all the imperfection through. So I see all my pores, and it's sinking into my fine lines, and it rubbed off from my chin. And if you have like a dry spot, it clings to that like right away. So from the application, this was already dewy, and I can't even imagine how it looks in hot weather. So I think all the oils, and especially on my forehead, it's like really, really dewy now. But even on my 100% side, I see that there is some dewiness going on, but it's not, the pores are not so pronounced. And even though it rubbed off from my chin too, probably because I touched and it rubbed off, I can tell that my pores are looking so much better on this side comparing to this side with the 100%. So we had the Organic Wear, Physician Formula, and 100% Second Skin on this side, and this side with the Physician Formula Organic Wear, I can see my pores like all over these parts of the face, and my pores here, they look a little bit more concealed and smaller, and the skin is a little bit smoother. Even though it got dew on this side too, I start to see a glow. It's not as bad as on this side, but yeah. Overall, my final thoughts, because it's been 7 hours since I put it on. Usually a foundation doesn't last that long, I believe. Usually they last about 3-4 good hours without touching your face, without doing any retouch, any powder and stuff like that. So overall, I must say that ingredient wise, 100% pure has far more higher ingredients. It's definitely the cleanest. It has plants in it, even the dyes and the coloring, it's plants, and it has anti-aging properties with squalane in it, and definitely that's why the price is so high. But they always have sales, so you're gonna score it for a lower price. I definitely did that. I didn't pay full price for this. Now this one, it shows all the imperfections right from the application. So it shows the pores, fine lines if you have these things in, and you can build it up. I think both of them you can really build up. This one was really matte, and this one started to glow from the application, and I didn't expect that. Even on my first impression, I was quite surprised. So if I had to pick a winner in my book, 100% pure, I will say hands down, it's worth the money. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, please put them down in the box below. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you like to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.